Do you know the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue?
I am familiar, yeah.
Okay, well, we've got that's what we're talking about today on Encite Live.
Flash the
Do you know the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue?
I am familiar, yeah.
Okay, well, we've got that's what we're talking about today on Encite Live.
Flash the images.
There we go. It's Adam, it's Sophie, Encite Live, coming to you again. Like we said, we're doing a little traveling show at the moment.
Yes, yeah.
Kind of different locations around Denver.
Keep you on your toes.
Yep, and we got visually interesting, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
But I wanted to talk a little bit, it was in the news today, about the upcoming swimsuit.
Speaking of visually interesting.
Swimsuit edition, right? SI swimsuit edition. So, obviously really well known. Everybody knows that issue is very popular. What they're doing this year is they are moving into more of a position of gender equality.
Okay.
And they are looking for their advertisers in their edition, in the 2022 edition, but they are only letting advertisers come in and post ads that are proving that they're pushing gender equality forward.
Okay.
So, and in addition to that, I don't know how they haven't told us yet what are the criteria of that, but say if you're Coca-Cola, you can't come in and just advertise your new Coke brand. You have to have an ad about gender equality.
Oh, so it's not just the company themselves are doing something for gender equality, the content of the ad?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Which, look, I think is a very good idea.
Yeah.
I think that there's, we said that you're in a magazine that potentially is objectifying women in swimsuits.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I would, yes. As a woman, though, I would push back. I will sit here and fully say I'm a feminist. Yes to everything that means. I like looking at hot people in bathing suits.
Sure.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? I think it's not about the content that I think it's about representation. And I think that they are doing a lot for that. Like last year they had their first trans cover model. I think that's important. I think that, maybe some different body types, maybe some different races, some different gender identities. But I don't think that it's like, no one wants to go back to Mormon times, right? So I think that it's not necessarily all bad from the start,
Yeah.
But I think that doing little things like that to kind of make it less sketchy. I don't know. Is that the right word? Like less objectified.
Yeah.
There's some messaging behind it that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I think that there's, I'm just saying that there can be some pushback.
Yes,
right? Like there's
for sure.
Somebody could have a different perspective on that, but you bring up a good point, the first trans, but then they all had the first cover model that was, a different body type rather than the most traditional super skinny.
Right, totally.
Tan,
Unattainable.
right. So I thought that they're doing a lot of different things, showing body types of different types of women, which is much more realistic.
Totally.
Right? Come on.
Yeah.
So, but the gender equality thing, I know that they're vetting ads on a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if advertisers are going to have to come in and on what they're doing or whatnot, but I'd be interested to see when they release that. But the magazine, the issue comes out in May 2022.
Okay.
And then the other thought here is you're jumping into something that's really important to a lot of people. So it's creating a lot of buzz, even though it's probably coming from a place of real authenticity. But at the same time, you are creating a lot of buzz around your new episode or your new edition. Issue.
And that's tough because I feel like, when you get into these kind of social issues with advertising, I think that on one side of the fence, you could be like, finally, someone like Sports Illustrated with this big platform is doing something right to make this slightly better. I think you can also look at it and say, that's going to make Sports Illustrated look really good. That's probably going to do wonders for them financially and from a social, proof perspective. And is that self-serving or is that for the larger community?
Yep.
I think both can be true.
And we talk about that a lot, right?
Yeah.
We talk about that a lot with clients, and that, from doing the right thing doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have to spend a ton of money just to do the right thing. There can be advantages still of doing the right thing. It helps with some of your marketing. It helps with your brand awareness. It helps with your brand equity and how people want to see you and perceive you, right? So it does help, but doing the right thing is still points for doing the right thing.
Yes. Yeah. And and it's like, if you're looking at it and if you're being really honest with yourself, like I said, both can be true. Like at the end of the day, this is a for-profit business and, they're trying to make money. So if being more cognizant about who you're advertising with and, that potentially making you look more favorable in the eyes of the people that might buy your magazines is eventually going to lead to some more dollars in your pocket, while also maybe shining a light on some people that haven't really been able to model in this capacity. Like that's great. Both of those things are great. Yeah. So
we still want to make money and still do the right thing.
Exactly.
And, still kind of stand up for some of the social issues that are important to you.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Cool. Yeah. A little off topic, I guess. Little pivot. Yeah. But again, kind of just wanted to go back to what we've been doing internally also. And something that we've been trying to push, for one of our clients, Help on Demand, is kind of, instead of the traditional webinar where it's, someone of influence or the company executives kind of preaching to a crowd, we want to kind of bring in people that have been positively impacted by their technology. So let's talk to clients and let's kind of like make this a roundtable discussion panel kind of thing. And I think that is really important because it allows potential customers to hear, hey, this is actually working for me, as opposed to, let me put some numbers in front of you and have it be just kind of an abstract concept of here's how Help on Demand could help your business. It's like, here's how Help on Demand is helping these businesses. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that the content around some of that thing that we're developing for them is beneficial to the audience and still comes from a true, authenticity place.
Yes.
Saying, hey, I'm really trying to provide something that's beneficial to these people, but I'm getting these potential clients on a panel with us.
Yeah.
So it does a couple of different things. Number one, it brings a variety of different perspectives, right? And so you have a panel of people and executives within these organizations, so they know what they're talking about in their respective industries and their respective, verticals. But it's also giving our client a way to connect with, another way to connect with their potential customers. So instead of just sales calls, sales emails, here's this, here's that, it's like you're trying to create genuine rapport, genuine connection and engagement. And then on top of that, I think that, it's an awareness thing for everybody. It's like I forget the phrase where the boat, however many more water lifts all boats or whatever. Right? Like, so it kind of helps
mutually beneficial.
Yeah, it's all mutually beneficial. So from a marketing perspective, from a content marketing perspective, from a promotion perspective, what we're doing with HOD is we provide that kind of turnkey kind of marketing pieces to the panel members that they can send out through their marketing channels. Well, now they have a turnkey kind of marketing campaign that they can send out that gets eyeballs on them. It helps them. It gets more awareness that way. So it's like I hate the phrase win-win, but it is. And it's all the way around. It's creating some really significant content, some beneficial content, but it's getting more and more people to view that content as well. Yeah.
And I'm sure that our viewers are probably like, yes, they say this every time, but it is important also to integrate things into your sales funnel that are purely for the, benefit of your audience. This isn't going to end with a sales pitch. This is going to end with beneficial information, which I think is sometimes the best sales pitch. So
I agree. I think that the traditional sales, I just watched Glenn Ross the other night, and that's that old school sales mentality. Right. that kind of stuff I don't think works anymore. I mean,
At least
it's
not on its own.
on its own, right?
Yeah.
But that high pressure,
Right.
high tech, it's all about genuine connection, and it's all about really kind of working together to solve a problem. And if you can't solve that problem, that's okay. You go to the next person that has that problem.
Which kind of ties back to the Sports Illustrated thing. You're working together to solve a problem.
Yeah. It's cool.
And it hopefully leads to sales in the end. So
we're excited. We'll keep you updated on the HOD thing when that goes through, but I know it's going to be pretty successful. I'm excited about it.
And hopefully talking to a lot of different industries. So pretty much anyone could find value in that, I think.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Well, keep an eye out. Like we said, we'll be back with you next week. Not sure about the guys updated, but
who knows where we'll be.
Yeah. Stay tuned for more info on stuff in the news, stuff we've been doing, just kind of general marketing, branding, creative, the whole bit.
A whole lot.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Talk to you next time.
See you guys.